And I'm going to pinpoint on certain areas about celebration in the space of a partner. The true level of the modern levels of the partnerships have become quite a hefty toll on the person's liberation, because at the moment we have these communities and societies and ideas, and we are so onto in this social level of interactions through a phone. So you have people giving you likes, so you build up this superficial space of a community when actually you have not sit with a person and had a cup of tea and ask the person where they are at and how you integrate that into what we had long time ago, but with a like now. But with those likes, you have to understand, if something happens to you and you need to go somewhere and you have to get your little bowl of fish, which some people have it as a, who would come out of all those likes to feed that fish? Or who would come and check whether your plants are watered, or whether you need a lift to the doctor? These are very important. So now we see one side of the communities and societies, and the influencing is all about love and all about celebration of that love, red roses and perfumes and jewelry and all that. And then what happens is they don't have this connection to the real space of a community. And because of that, or real place of a practice, you tend to put a lot of weight on your partners to be that community, be that person who is going to look after your back, be that person to be part of your job, be that person to be the intimate lover, be that person to be God, my this, my that. And that's a lot for one person, because previously it was maintained by a space of a town or a village. So you have a place where we brought up for the village, we had a temple, we had a gathering spot, we have a school, we have certain places where even Vidamahatmya means the person we go and talk about our space of health. But you don't have that anymore, but you have all this information and you're overwhelmed by information, and you don't know how to navigate in this level of rough level of seas. Some people think the information is great, but information is also not great when you cannot navigate. Now, it doesn't matter whether you have a partner or you have a pet or anything. Make sure you celebrate that love and the connection to celebrate. If it is a day, for me, it is every day, every single moment, whether it's the romantic part of it or not. But this romance is people getting caught up and they want whatever happens, that to be there. So this is where the letting go process is coming into a practice. What no longer serves you. You know, a lot of people love control. They don't say it to you, but you can understand if someone talks about the past constantly, about the past abuse, past relationship, past, and thinking that someone robbed them. That's a control, because they only have that control if they talk about that. But imagine with that amount of weight, you're trying to climb something, a mount or a bridge. How much weight is given to something not even relevant to you? Something that you always said, I wish that I could have never happened. But that I wish I could have never happened should have been the path that the practice come. It's no longer servicing you. It's no longer give you any benefit. It only give that wound a bit more wounding, but you're not letting go of it or letting be of it. But if you think that is as an event, think it as a frequency. It's a frequency gravitating you never to come up in life. But what happens if you release it? Unknown is going to be scary, because you're so used to control the event. Now you don't have a control of the unknown. So you are going to be that known misery every time the unknown comes you to elevate. Unknown asks you to grow up into that space. Unknown comes and asks you to be familiar with these neuropaths. In the frequency, it's a neuropaths. So today's class is we are going to emphasize on these areas and really celebrating the love and the connection that we have within ourselves so that we never hold anyone else responsible for that. And we are moving into that space of flow. Now, this is going to be hard. This is going to be creating a lot of friction, but take it as a part of elevation. And I talked about last time about the ego panic. This is very similar in all levels. It moves into that self-consciousness. You can't just run and go to a gym and ask for a muscle to build up. You can't have one day a healthy meal and it's amazing that you send me these videos of what you're cooking. But if you're not continuing it, will it have a change on the health? No. Talking about it, will it have a change? No. Of course, talking also another thing. Your tongue is like a wand. It's Aladdin's magic lamp. And if you're constantly talking about the past and the misery of the past, you're giving command to your life. Don't change it because I love it. I'm giving command about it. So be very careful of that magic wand that stays in your tongue. Constantly you're talking about things that has not happened to you. Start giving gratitude in advance and start living in that phase of presence with your partner, with the loved ones, how grateful you are. Saying that, I'm going to move the camera towards it. We are trying different levels of sequences here, so you may lose some vision, you may lose some sounds, so just be with it. Shoulders roll back, opening up the chest. Take a deep breath in and elevate that frequency of the spine. Create space. When you letting go, what do? You create space. That space doesn't have to be anything, just space. And become unfamiliar, unknown, because there's no controlling it. Now, very gently raise your arms back into the crown, interlacing the fingers, and palms facing up. Now, very gently breathe out and twist the spine to the right side, stomach pulled in, open up, elevate that space, embracing that uncertainty. You are stepping into boldly into this space, back into the center. Change the formations of the legs. Arms raised onto the crown, interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Take a deep breath in, elongate the space of the spine, space of the chest. Breathe out, twisting the spine to the left. We are trying to get the space organized, so be with me. If it is just going to be this, just listen to it. Trust the best version of this process, waiting for you on the other side. So observe the fear, so it takes a leap. Say yes to the old, no to the unknown. Let go whatever is holding you. Now back into the center. Elongate the neck and bring the head back a little bit. And on a breath in and breath out, stretch the neck to the right side. Back into the center. On to the other side. Opening up. Back into the center. Now you are observing the resilient, and that is energy, and that is movement. Now shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, massage the back of your skull. Shrug the shoulder a little bit more and pull the belly in and open up and close the mouth few times, releasing that the wand that you have been using and refusing to go into the future, but holding it into the past. Open and close, open and chin to the chest, breathe out, collapse the spine onto a seated cat. Discover the energy that is elevating you, and you've been refusing this, continuously asking from the past wound to something to heal. It will never happen. So let go of this. Just about walking away from, and it's about stepping into something, back into the center. Now take a deep breath in and very gently breathe out and collapse the spine to the cat. This time, anus, navel, and throat. All the three bandhas are potentially releasing all the sense of security. But you're making a difference in this present moment. Instead of clinging to what, say if you choose to believe yourself, all the events, you're releasing it. I don't know what is next. Take a deep breath in and tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Energy gaze onto the third eye. Have the courage to just let go and control the situation as we have done. Breathe out. Anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Breathing into a neutral space. Now you're not afraid of making that choice. You're not holding into that space of the past, the job, the relationship, because they all have no longer served you. Relationship is a frequency, and the frequency in the past drain because you are fear of the unknown. So you're looking at everything that comes into your doorstep from the known. And they stay relationships in that same manner. So nothing is joyously happening because you're not stepping into that. First ride that you took in the bicycle, first wave that you were surfing with, back into the center. Now take very gently the left leg into the back, keep your right hip open. Now take a deep breath and consciously observe that. And bring that the most alive that you're taking into. Even you have done this posture so many times, just take it and observe it. Elevate the space of the heart. Take a step outside your comfort of the posture. Breathe out, drop the elbows, walk those palms, release those tension. Head down, neck down. Ask yourself, when you're releasing that, the no, ask yourself from the past, you open yourself, taking the first step towards the change. Don't you feel the body is alive? And you're creating that new experience would have never happened or been possible if you stayed where you were thinking. You were constantly avoiding the life. Now allow the palms to face up and embrace. The only growth that has ever happened is the person who has the courage to let go, lose the control, and choosing to believe that there is a better version of myself than what is being told and happen. And they won't let the fear dictate. Palms facing down, take a deep breath in and come back into this neutral space. All the entrepreneurs, all the artists, all the musicians did something. They didn't know that they're going to have success. They didn't know even someone will enjoy the art, enjoy the music, but they did it. Don't wait until everything is comfortable. You navigate things when they are not comfortable in your best level. Plank. Now stronger on the pelvic floor on this, and take a couple of deep breath and strengthen your posture, strengthen your breath, strengthen your alignment. And its constant movement is what is bringing the flow into the body and to the mind. Now very gently drop the knees and stretch the spine on the out breath. Now just observe. There is no security in that future. There is no certainty in that future. So a lot of people wait for the certainty. A lot of people waited for that because that's how they control the past. So staying where you are means staying safe, but it also means staying stuck. So ask your body, breathe into the body and let it see where it is stuck. Observe the hesitation of the thoughts and emotion. Observe the hesitation where you carry in the body, in the mind, in the breath. And take that first step to breathe in and crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Leaving behind that the familiar pain, familiar this, familiar that. Breathing in into an up face. Elevate this posture just a moment where most. Breathe out towards the down face. Now your down face is totally, your head and neck is relaxed. You can lift up onto the toes and bend the knees to get the alignment of the upper body. Now very gently opening up into the down face, toes pointing each other. So we are absolutely releasing the version of that holding. And we are allowing this breath to bring that possibility, opportunity, and kind of the liberation into this space. Now take a deep breath in, left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose again. Shoulders roll back, opening up the chest, elevate the space of the heart. Make sure that you know about your back, that your shoulders are not slouching forward. Let it bring the growth of that space of the heart into a comfort space. Take a deep breath in the space of trust that ahead of you is greater than what you are leaving behind. This is in all level people are going through. Breath in, breath out, drop the elbows, walk those palms, release the tension of the past, release the tension of the stuck. Don't think that always because we are trusting the unknown that we are fearless. We feel the same doubt and the anxiety and the worries that everyone else is feeling. But we are conscious about it. Growth only happens outside of that comfort zone. Are you willing to trust that? Take a moment with this. Take a deep breath in, breath out. Walk those palms into the space, into the back, into the plank. And strong this movement of experience where the body is in the unknown. You don't know whether I will ask you to drop the knees and stretch the spine or step into this unknown. Totally let go of that energy of not just about realizing what no longer serves. It's about embracing what comes next. And when you stop resisting the change, life has a way of surprise. You might show up a different opportunity that you never have even prepared. Now drop the knees and stretch the spine. This time, take the knees wide apart. Now you ask me about clarity of this, clarity of that. So you have to go to this, that. Clarity comes through movement, means action, not a thought. Okay, this is all the people who are analyzing and overthinking and try to predict every possible outcome. But until you do a movement, there is no clarity. You only can have clarity through a movement. So the answer you're looking for won't come from sitting still. They come from movement, from experience, from daring to movement, from experience, stepping into the unknown. Letting go is so powerful. It's not just about realizing what no longer serves, but what you're doing about it. Not the tantrum part of it is also a movement, but that you give a frequency to the past because you're talking about a tantrum from the past. You're not saying my future is this bad and you're not seriously screaming about it with excitement. Then it's a different frequency. Palms facing down very gently, crawling and bringing that chest into the front and giving the space when you release that grip. Now this time elbows onto the floor and you're coming into the Bhujangasana. Take a deep breath in, opening up that chest, elevate the space of the heart. See how you hold the back. You're asking about life and you're asking about the questions about the life. But if I say to you, more often than not, what life has in store for you is far greater than anything that you could have ever planned. But here's the challenge. Most people don't trust the unknown because they confuse uncertainty with the failure. They assume that if they take a risk and things don't perfectly go in their old version, they enter into relationships like this. They enter into business like this. They enter into health like this. They enter into so many things like this, overlooking to the right side. Ask yourself, what are you holding tightly? What feels safe? Take a step forward, bring the head back, center, elevate the heart, overlooking onto the others. Do you want proof from life everything will work out before you make the move? But life doesn't work that way. People who break this part is moving into that uncertainty. And they know certainty is an illusion. They know that. So clinging is to the past. That's why you cling into the past so much with your horrible experience. Because it gives a certainty to your character. Back into the center. Now allow the third eye to drop onto the floor. Take a deep breath in and move into the space of the being. Move the head onto gently roll so that you feel the activation of the pituitary and the pineal energy, finally moving from that stagnation. So it's not stopping fluorides on your toothpaste. So it crystallize your pineal gland. It's nothing like that. Master the art of letting go. You don't just change your circumstances, you change yourself. Moment you stop resisting the change and start trusting that space of the uncertainty, life begins. Your third eye opens up in ways you never imagined. Most people never get to experience this because they hold on tightly to past. What feels safe, what has a guarantee, because that's how the whole system is built up in these communities, in these countries, in this world. Back into the center. Bring your palms where your elbows are. Breathing in and very gently coming into the up phase. Breath out into a beautiful down phase. Now, this down phase, I want you to create space that to let go, let be, is an active process, not a passive one. Sometimes some things you must force yourself to do every single day. It's like the past is the biggest drug that you're addicted to. So letting go of that story, screaming about that story is the hardest drug that you have ever been given. There's no drug can be matched into the illusion of that. It's simply as that. So every moment you have to until it becomes the second nature. And the moment it does, you realize that you have powerful state in you. Mind is lighter and the path is clearer and your life is finally moving forward. Letting go of your biggest drug that you have been taken and you have been addicted. You have created neural paths to go into that addiction constantly. Left leg up into the back. Breathing into this liberated space. See the mind is now against you. At the moment you are asking this, observing this, left knee onto the left chest. Breathing into the stretch back, left knee onto the left elbow. Breathe out. You're doing well. Be gentle on yourself. Stretch back, left knee onto the right elbow. Stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arm stretch into the back. Interlacing the fingers. Arms raise onto the crown. Sit deeper. You are creating in this namaskar position in the heart a room for space, room for fresh, room for healing, room for relationships that you're mending in a different way. So this is the process of decluttering. The closest, if you keep hoarding, no longer fit, there is no space for anything new to come. Same applies. Now opening up onto the Virabhadrasana, take that relationship that no longer align with you, who you are becoming. You won't have space for the things that do. Letting go is an active process, not a passive one. Take a mudra, take a couple of more breaths. Get those neuropaths to be stronger. Moment by moment. A day by day. Expect it to feel easy. Your mind will resist. It will try to convince you that you need to hold and start. Start letting go means losing control. It's okay to lose control rather than have control of the past. Take a mudra, gentle arch. Take a mudra, very gently coming back into the center. Elbow onto the knee. Right shoulder roll back, even if you may not see it as we're trying these different ways of doing things, so, but doesn't want to disturb the essence of the class. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Now talk about the past, talk about the torture of this and that. Does it bring you clarity or it just brings back the pain? Just it happened, this is so people stay stuck. Not because they don't have the ability to move forward, because they keep choosing to relive what they should, what they have already they want to control that past in the present. It will never happen. Right, reaching into the front. Right, reaching onto the floor and touch the floor. Breathing in left arm, reaching up to the ceiling. Take that back leg stretch properly. I can see you guys though. Left reaching into the back, touch the floor. Now take a deep breath in and come into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Take a deep breath in, lower plank, elbows tucked in. Drop the knees if it's too hard. Up face, down face. Now drop the knees and stretch the spine. Now take a moment. Because you stop a fan doesn't mean that it stopped propelling. See, the mind still want to entertain the emotion. If you work with that, you linger in the story, you tell yourself, you replay the past mistakes, if that is on your side. So the ego is whether it's blame you or you want to be blaming the others. So you're reliving it over and over again, feeling the worst each time. It hurts. Now imagine this hurt has never done from the past. This is a hurt that you're carrying and you're entertaining into the future. Even as much as you want to avoid it, if you talk about it, it hoarders it. And it is stealing your present moment. It's stealing your health. Are you holding this as a security so you are mentally, emotionally feel safe by this burden? This is something you have to work at every single day, to start with small things, thoughts. It's about how you enter into the job, how you enter into the relationship, how you do daily chores. The more you entertain the emotion with it, you will linger in the story. And then you're saying that the health is not recovering, wealth is not recovering, relationships are not recovering. Now realize what to hold on, what to release. When you come into this palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into a gentle up phase. Breathe out onto the down face. Bend your knees, lift up onto the toes, bring that lower ribs closer to that space. Get that back properly aligned, the relationship. Now open the legs, right leg up. Give a good rotation to the right foot. Release any tension, right knee to the right chest. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow. Stretch back, right knee to the left elbow. Stretch back, right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the crown, palms onto the namaskar position into the front. Take that mudra. Now, this is the sound. Stop caring about what others think about. Truth is process of letting go in every moment. Take a mudra that gives you the courage to step forward. Courage, it's a habit. It's a daily practice. It is your new drug. You're replacing not as addiction, but this requires discipline and intention. When you come into that space, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana, take a mudra, means you're choosing to believe that your future is worth more than your past. Life isn't meant to be lived in a cycle of fear, hesitation. It means you're choosing to believe that you were meant to be like that because of this and because of that. The best thing in the life actually has even not happened to you. If you think the best thing in your life has been robbed by someone, take a mudra, gentle arch. Take a deep breath in, elbow onto the knee, left arm reaching up. Take that breath, leaving behind and letting go. Doesn't mean that you won't feel fear. It doesn't mean you have the answers, but it's a process. Left reaching into the front and very gently touch the floor. Take a deep breath in, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Into the back, touch the floor. Stronger into a plank. Drop the knees and stretch the spine. Or when you take decisions like this in life, fear comes as a comfort. It will always try to keep you where you are. It will whisper that the risk is too great, that the unknown is too dangerous, that it is safer to stay with the abuse. But fear is a liar. Fear always has been illusion, means a liar. The real danger isn't in moving forward, isn't in staying in the same thought patterns. Take a moment to come into the activation of this energy. Truth is action. It what creates that certainty. You don't need to know exactly how things unfold. Me and Asa did this whole camera things because we thought, well, we are not going to control it. It didn't move into the postures, but that's fine. We try to use the mobile phone so they will get a better quality picture so that it can be presented to you guys in a better way. But that was the first step. When you do, the next step becomes clearer when you trust the process and the right opportunities and the people and the ideas begin to appear. But none of that happens if I refuse to let go of what keeping the whole process of what we used to. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Breathing into an up face. Elevate the posture a little bit more, shoulders relax. Bring the stronger on those palms, wrist, elbows. Breathe out towards the down face. Now very gently drop the knees and stretch the spine, willingness to step. Despite the fear, what would happen if you did the same way? What if instead of holding what's comfortable, you force yourself to embrace the unknown? So that's an achievement. You didn't wag your magic wand of the tongue, talk to your friends about waiting for the perfect moment. You decide the perfect moment is now. The biggest other lie and the illusion is why we tell ourselves what we need certainty before we take that we need certainty before we take the action. But the truth is, action is what creates the certainty. None of people ever had guarantees where they have the wealth that the social media is saying. I'm not into it. The idea I'm just saying. So don't run the race. Run the race with the understanding, not because of the sake of your running. Mind locking us into patterns of fear, doubt, and hesitations. Certainty does not lead to growth. Courage does every person who has ever achieved something. Step into the unknown. Peace with the uncertainty. And it's an act before they felt ready. I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel ready to get this class going, but we moved on to it. Coming to the child pose. Now take a moment in the innocence of the child that we tell ourselves stories to justify the resistance of that I can't leave my past because I don't know if I'll find something better. If I find something better, I don't want to learn that I have to communicate in a different way. Or I know my limitation. So I can't walk away from the relationship. I can't walk away from my habits of created this bad health. I will never find love again. I can't take a risk on my dreams because what if I fail? These thoughts as create a restriction in the innocence of the space and the pose, the child. So take a couple of more breaths and come into those elevations. So we momentarily felt less low into this space. But when you realize it's become less lonely, it happens small incremental things to you. But this is not the hyper connectivity to the podcast, hyper connectivity into the Instagram. Not this virtual, this, that, but into the real realization. So slowly step out because the media is powerful, the parasocial relationship with this. Because the more you believe in that and you make that as your plan, more emptier you get. And it's turning conflict. Now, very gently, wake up the spine. Now there's a shift in your focus. There's a shift. Now this is the moment that to present is focus on the joys. You have spoken enough of your sorrows to remind you to look at the brighter side, even despite of the story. That kind of resilience that inspires you to do the same. The spirit lifts. Now very gently coming up onto the knees. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling, elevate and make that right kidney more buoyant. Reaching into the back or to the heel. You can keep the toe onto the floor and lift up the heel, or you can flatten it where, but be rest in this pose. It's not a defeat, it's not forcing. It's a necessary part of your journey. Left arm reaching up, and you do allow you to return to the field of the life stronger than before, even on the asana, even on the pranayama, even on the state of the dharana, dhyana. So you allow this new enter into your life, bringing a fresh wave of positivity. Now take a couple of more breaths, elevate the space of the heart and the throat. Now, how you know that you have elevated, you listen to someone's struggles, but you also shift the focus towards the hope, the joy. So people do come with struggles, but I also shift it into the focus of joy. Support the back and stretch the spine and relax back, third eye on the fist now. Gather your strength. The galactical way of reminding you that life unfolds on its own term, not always according to your plans. Embrace the unknown. To embrace the unknown is a stillness, for it's preparing you for something new. Beginning, the rest is not a defeat. It's just a necessary part of your journey, allowing you to return to the field of life stronger than before. Now very gently wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. Now when you make that space for the unknown, coming into a sitting pose, there's a clarity as if the universe is whispering. Your path is the sign that come in when you are confident, is that is encouragement you need to move forward. That's how you know that you no longer, you talk about the past, not as a punishment. You talk about as a past, as it has brought you, and you're ignoring a slogan that it's keep repeating the way you repeated it. Now you see whether it's a song coming up, whether it's a billboard, it is giving you signs. It's echoing something. That's almost like universe is nudging you. Whether you have a chat with someone very special, Now take a moment, twist the spine to the right side on the out breath. Back into the center, onto the other side. Back into the center. Now take a moment. Sometimes when these kind of classes happens, you write to me that you had shed the tears, you had a release. Take a moment. These are a mixture of the grief for the dreams that you almost abandoned because you want to hold on to security of your past. But you're suddenly having the gratitude for this moment that you never stop believing in you. And the realization how we all as a community has come into this realization. So if that happens, it's a renewal, as it's the universe is allowing you to mourn what is past, allowing you to mourn what is past, while it's urging you to let go of the self-pity, let go of the fear. But now the whole class was that. Now you feel a shift. Either you found the resolve to face what comes next with courage, knowing that you're stronger than you realize. But when you are not knowing the path, uncertain about your choices, don't worry. The strange part is confirmation can happen through a class, through a sign. Coincidental things will happen. Don't ignore those. It aligns perfectly with your thoughts. It can be a song. It can be a title. It can be a card. It can be whatever. It resonates deeply with your situation. Be available for this nudge, but don't bring the mind and its grammar and its talking into it, because it still talks from the past, because the language is a past. Movement is something future. Arms raised onto the crown and come into this elevation of allowing, of letting it touch us and bring in something buried. Take a moment in that space. And opening up to that unexpected act of kindness between strangers to resonate deeply suddenly. To the unknown is the stranger. Arms raised onto the crown, cleansing the space and the aura of the space that you're occupying. Renewal of that energies. Taking this class as it's randomly a motivational space of that universe. Crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, navel, and Muladhara. Arms raised onto the crown and cleansing the space of the setbacks, complexity. As season appears, where lives give you both blessings and hardships. But when a harsh winter comes, you also know there is a spring. It's a joy. So burdensome, creating a confusing blend of emotional, yet regardless how these seasons manifest, they are all passing, alternating as life unfolds, however it is. So now that is my conclusion with the past and the future. Arms raised onto the ground, cleanse back again the space, releasing the tension wherever it is. Palms onto the Namaskar, positioned in space of gratitude. Namaste.